Hello guys, welcome back to Ushi Gaming channel. So in this video I will talk about 5 squad building fundamentals. Okay, so the first thing that you have to know about this Brave Frontier concept about how to build a squad. Well, I actually made this video based on requests. Some people actually asked me about this. Can you teach us about how to build a good squad or something like that? And also when I'm making a walkthrough video, I'm using the unit that I feel good, and sometimes I get questions like what if I don't have this, what if I don't have that, something like that. Okay, so this video will be the answer for that. Okay, so the first thing that you have to know is that Brave Frontier squad, it's not about the units you have in the squad, but it's all about the buffs you have. Okay, so one squad in Brave Frontier contains like 6 units. It doesn't matter what kind of units you have in the squad or you're using in the squad right now, but the biggest thing about a squad in Brave Frontier is what buffs you have in the squad. Okay, that's the first one. The second one is you have to choose your core unit when you are building a squad, which is usually a mitigator. You have to decide it first. So if you want to use Hisui as your mitigator, the other 5 units will fill the rest of the buffs you need. Hisui gives defense recovery and boosts defense based on recovery and mitigation buff, status elements negation, cure status elements, and elemental weakness immunity buffs as well. Since Hisui has those awesome buffs, multiple useful buffs, the other can just fill the rest. I don't have to bring another defense and recovery up buffer if I already have Hisui in the squad. That's why I can get the attack up buff from Arc, as you can see here, and also the 6 elemental buffs. And then I can get the BB damage up buff from Lauda. Just for example, if I'm using Kranz as my mitigator, I have to get the attack defense recovery up buff from the other unit. In this kind of squad, Sirius is a better choice than Lauda. Because if you're using Sirius, one Sirius can already cover attack defense recovery and BB damage buff, and also add BB gauge on spark buff as well. However, Sirius doesn't have that double attack as BB. So in his Hisui squad, of course, Lauda is a better choice than is Sirius. Okay, so that's how. And if you are using Rain as your mitigator, the other should follow as well. After you decided your core unit, maybe like your mitigator, and then you can decide the second core unit. Maybe if you are using Quaid as your 6 elemental buffer like this, so the other 3 units, 4 with friend, will fill the rest, something like that. The third thing is make sure you have the recommended basic buffs. The most important thing is a mitigation buff. 50% mitigation buff. That's why the core unit is usually a mitigator, okay? And the second thing is attack defense recovery up buffs, and then status element negation, and then boost attack, boost defense based on other stats. BB damage up, of course, to raise your damage. Battle crystal, heart crystal drop rate up buffs. Healing skill, and HP regen, BB regen buffs. HP regen is good to counter the OT, and BB regen is good so that you can spam SBB easier. Add BB gauge when attacked buff, and add BB gauge on spark buffs. And then 6 elemental buffs, critical, spark, critical immunity, elemental weakness damage immunity, and so on. So make sure that you can build a squad with at least mitigation, attack defense recovery, status element negation, boost attack defense recovery, blah, 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 and so on. Just try to get as many buffs as you can. But the most important buffs are the defensive buffs first. So you have to put defensive buffs as the priority. After that, you can start to put your offensive buffs in the squad. Make sure that you are not building a squad without a defense buff. For example, if you are using Kranz as your mitigator, since Kranz doesn't give defense buff, and then you are using Lauda instead of Sirius, that's gonna be something like a disaster. Your squad, your units will get more damage because they don't have defense buff, something like that. Okay, and the fourth one is leader skill buffs are the same or more powerful than BB/SBB buffs. So use leader skill buffs to overcome your poor sphere or buffs. I quite often get complaint about I don't have those OP spheres. What should I do or something like that. For example, this squad, I'm using Arc as my leader, right? And then I'm using spheres like BB damage up spheres, like a lot of them. Armor of Seals with Mad Blur, Armor of Seals with Skylord's Blade, and so on. I mean, if you don't have those kind of spheres, you can actually create similar effect. I mean, the same damage output, even with just Armor of Seal without any other additional spheres. How? Easy. If you are initially using Arc as leader, you can change your leader into Sirius. By using Sirius as leader, you will get BB damage up increase like plus 200%. It will apply to all of your units, and it means that the BB damage up buff in the squad is now 400 plus 200, which is plus 600%. Compared to this squad might only have BB damage plus 400%, the basic buff from the Lauda's SBB. Okay, and then if you put BB damage up plus 200% on your subspheres other than your main, it means that your unit will get like plus 600 BB damage up buff, which is kind of the same as using Sirius as your leader and then use just Armor of Seal on your unit. Okay, got what I mean. Anyway, another example, if your Quaid doesn't get the BB damage upgrade into the 400%, so let's say this squad's Quaid only gave BB damage plus 300%. If I put the leader into Lauda like this, the total BB damage above this squad can get is plus 500%, which is still better than this Arc squad, which is only plus 400%. You got what I mean? Same as if your Elsa didn't get the spark damage plus 30% enhancement. So maybe this Elsa only gives like spark damage plus 100%. Since my Arc leader skill also gives, let's say, spark damage plus 100%, this squad basically has spark damage plus 200% buff, regardless of where those buffs from. Okay. So if this squad only has Elsa with spark damage plus 100% from the SBB buff, and let's say I have another Elsa in another squad with spark damage plus 130%, but the leader is let's say Milord. The overall squad damage, of course, the normal Elsa with spark damage plus 100%, but with Arc's leader skill, which gives extra spark damage boost, something like that. So you can utilize your leader skill buffs to overcome your weakness. I mean, if you don't have good spheres, you can use the leader skills for that. And the fifth thing and the last thing too is utilize your SP skills to get as many buffs as possible in the squad. Milord has a really wide variation of skills you can get. Okay, rather than just to enhance what the regular buffs Milord has, for example like this, I think sometimes it's kind of better to take the other buffs. For example, this Milord took all the attack down, defense down debuffs. This way, this squad has complete debuffs. I mean, attack down, defend down, and also the status elements from Elsa as well, which is good. I mean, if this Milord didn't take the attack down, defend down debuffs, because if you feel that those buffs are not that good or something like that, basically you will be lacking some buffs. And just like what I've said before, you can overcome, like if you get extra plus, let's say plus 20% if you enhance the SBB huge boost to attack relative to defense effect or something like that. But if the leader skill you're using is still Milord, it will be still quite low, the final result. But if you change the leader skill into Sirius, even if you didn't take the enhancement for the Milord's basic buffs, overall the damage output will be still higher. Okay, got what I mean? Still back to the number one, which is Brave Frontier squad is not about the units you have in the squad, but it's all about the buffs you have, including leader skill, SP skill, BB SPB, and UBB too. Okay, so that's basically the fundamental things that you need to know when you are building a squad. As you guys know that when Rain got released, many players got hyped about, oh, Rain is so OP, Rain is so OP. But I've said on my reviews video that Rain is just kind of like a different kind of Hisui. Since if I'm using Rain, I have to adapt the other 5 including the friend. Indian it's just kind of like the same, okay? The squad's buffs are the same as if I'm using Hisui. It's just that the units are different, but in the end, the buffs you can get from the squad are mostly the same. So you have to imagine that your squad is a unity of 6 units with different kind of buffs. Yeah. Okay, so that's it. I hope this can answer your questions about what if I don't have this unit, that unit, and what if I don't have those OP spheres and so on. This way of thinking can help you much about that part. So even if you only have occult treasures, you don't have like armor of seals, you don't have Skylord's blade, you don't have Sky Orb or something like that, you still can overcome your weakness by utilizing all of the buffs you can get from leader skill, BBS, BB, and SP skills, and also extra skills. So that's all for today's video. Hope this video can be helpful for you guys, especially for those who just started the game. So if you have a friend that just started the game and confusing about how to build a good squad, which units should I get or something like that, maybe you can recommend this video to that player. Yeah, so I think that's all for now. Thank you for watching. See you again next time, and bye bye. Brave Frontier Punch.